How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Today, in episode number 120 of Uncut, we are here to discuss Anthony Miller after a bad fallout in the 2020 season where he got ejected in the wild card game and some strict comments from the McCaskey family. Will Miller be on the Bears for much longer? Today, we're here to discuss his future and what is next for him in his playing career. Welcome back to the show, guys. Feels good to be back. As you can tell, new setup for me. I have moved in at college, so had to get situated, but it feels good to be back. We're going to be posting every day of the week. I am your host, Chris Malpe. Today, joined by the right of me, I am joined with my co-host, Jaylen McClinton. Jaylen, how's it going, buddy? How does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's good to be back for me. I know I haven't been recording as consistently as I usually do with Parth and Zach and stuff like that, but it feels good to get some more episodes out here. You know, I kind of have a new setup. It's not really, I'm pretty sure you guys seen this posted many times in my background, but I'm a little closer to it. So it just feels good to be back in general.
Yeah, and a lot of new things coming for the podcast in the future. Obviously, we're going to be double uploading today. You're seeing this on Monday, January 25th. So we will have a double upload coming up today. But generally speaking, we want to get at least one video out each and every day. We're going to be double uploading when we can. We're also still going to be doing podcasts normally. Normally, I think how it's going to go is we're going to be posting in Uncut in the morning, and then the afternoon is going to be a podcast, which will still be posted on here, but also will be posted on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. And also, we have some webcams coming soon. So it'll be a lot cleaner picture of us starting about next week. So a lot to look forward to, and we've got some off-season coverage to kick off. But let's hop right into it with a very interesting topic, Jaylen. Anthony Miller. Let's start with talking about Miller's play throughout his career, because obviously a former second-round pick out of Memphis. It's been an interesting career for Miller in Chicago. Obviously, he joined the team in 2018, had 33 catches for 423 yards, also 7 touchdowns with 12.8 yards per catch in his rookie season, easily his best season in the league so far. Since then, his catches have gone up. 52 catches in 2019 for 656 yards, only 2 touchdowns, and only 2 touchdowns this past year in 2020. Obviously demoted to wide receiver 3 after he saw a breakout year from Darnell Mooney. Miller had 49 catches for 485 yards with 9.9 yards per catch. We've seen him have some discipline issues in the past. So, Jaylen, I want to start this one off. Before we talk about his future in Chicago, I want to ask you, what have you thought on Miller's play so far throughout his time in Chicago? And do you think? Actually, no. We'll talk about whether or not he's played up to par later. But what have your thoughts been on how Miller's played so far since coming to Chicago?
So since coming to when we first drafted him and we traded up for him back into the second round, I thought that was an amazing pick because at that time we were really desperate for some wide receivers. That whole 2018 offseason was just a whole revamp of the team in general. I know we got him, we got Taylor Gabriel that offseason as well as Allen Robinson, and I really expected him to come in and be a very good third wide receiver, and he was in his rookie season. 7 touchdowns, led the team in touchdowns as a rookie, and I expected him to get better as his career went on. His second year, he started off a little slow, but he in the second half of the season he had a strong couple games. I know he had 155 yards against the Lions. And he just kept, playing better as the season went on last year. And this year, this is his third season. He was going to be our number 2 wide receiver since we released Taylor Gabriel. And I thought he could have, been on track for 1,000 yards. Obviously, he got demoted due to the breakout of Darnell Mooney. But I really thought, Anthony Miller could be this a top wide receiver for us. He definitely has the talent too. The reason why he's not producing is not because he's not good enough. He definitely is. He showed it many times in the NFL that he can be a very good wide receiver. It's all about consistency with him though. First game of the season, had the game-winning touchdown against the Lions. Next week, didn't do anything against the Giants. He actually dropped a dime by Mitchell, and then the next
one of Trubisky's best throws in his entire career, easily.
And then the next game after that had another game-winning touchdown against the Falcons.
Against the Falcons in the Foles game, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was the last time he caught a touchdown. And like people, a lot of people say he's the Mitchell Trubisky of the wide receiver room, and even though Mitch has produced more than Anthony Miller has, I can definitely see where they're coming from. The inconsistency is there. It's not that they don't have the talent; they definitely do. It's rather putting it all together and doing it consistently throughout a 16 game season.
Yeah, we came into 2020 expecting big things out of Miller, and I think he had a good start to the year. Obviously, you mentioned it, the great games against the Falcons and the Lions. We saw a little bit of inconsistencies with probably 2 or 3 important drops in that Week 2 game against the Giants, and since then, I think we can both agree he's really gone radio silent. And that's unfortunate. Darnell Mooney stepped up, actually earned the number 2 spot on the wide receiver depth chart after about Week 5. And Miller's really gone radio silent since then. So in regards to where he was picked, I'd probably say I've been a little disappointed with his play so far, as well as a discipline issue, because I think he's had a discipline issue for quite some time. I'm normally not one to call players out, but you see him in games throwing up gang signs, talking a ton of crap, and not really being able to do much in some of these games where he doesn't really show up. We've seen drops be an issue for him throughout time, even though he doesn't have a horrible drop percentage. He's dropped a lot of big passes throughout his time in Chicago. I haven't been the happiest I haven't been the biggest connoisseur of him, I guess you could say, ever since 2019 and throughout 2020. It was definitely disappointing for me to see him play the way he did and then end the season the way it did. Jaylen, obviously, I did talk early in the intro about how McCaskey's did have some comments on him. George McCaskey in the end of the year presser said he had quite the problem with what Miller did in the wild card week, week 18, I guess you could call it. Obviously getting ejected once again, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson getting in his head, and Miller ended up punching him in that game. CJG might be one of the best trash talkers in the league, but not the way you wanted it to go out for Miller. So, I want to ask you, obviously, it's been an up and down year and career for Miller. We talked about the inconsistency issues that he's had throughout his time in Chicago. But with the Bears trading up for him and spending so much on him in regards to draft capital, would you say that he's played up to par or not as a former second-round pick?
Definitely not up to par, not to my standards at least. I don't expect you to get 1,000 yards every year, especially when we got Allen Robinson as the number 1 wide receiver, and he's Mitchell's favorite target. He's going to get 100 receptions or at least 100 targets every single season that he's been with us. Probably other than his first one, but he was coming off an ACL injury, so I didn't expect him to get 1,000 yards. I didn't expect him to get 90 receptions, but I wanted him to be a very solid number 2, 700, 600, 700 yards. He only got
clearly that didn't happen.
He only got over 600 yards one time, and that was last year in his second season. And so, no, I definitely wouldn't say it's up to par. I was definitely disappointed after this season. Last year, I had high hope because he was able to, obviously get more catches, get more receiving yards. His touchdown did go down, but that was just because Allen Robinson was having an amazing season last year. And plus the subpar QB play. So I was definitely, excited to see what he can do in his third year, and he just came out and disappointed me. I wouldn't say like he's been a complete problem with the discipline other than this season, because he's never really been, a person that was always getting kicked out, that he's mainly had problems. I know he got kicked out one game in his rookie season, but that was because he was protecting Mitch. But other than this year, he hasn't disappointed me with his discipline or his play, but he's definitely been a disappointment by far.
Yeah, I got to go ahead and agree with you, and I apologize if you guys can hear any exterior sound. The AC just kicked up in my room. Might have to find somewhere else to record it. You guys are going to see me in a ton of different settings this year. But in regards to Miller, I got to go ahead and agree with you. I would say for the most part, it's been a disappointment, if I'm being honest. I expected better from him, and I think the real stamp on it for me was when he was demoted this year. We really saw him go radio silent after week 3. You
didn't even see him on the field sometimes. I'm like, where's Anthony?
His snaps went down. His snaps went down a ton. And whenever he made a catch, we were like, oh, there's Anthony Miller making a play. It became a nuisance actually seeing him do things on the field. So, I would say definitely hasn't played up to par in my opinion. Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought of Anthony Miller's play this season and throughout his career in Chicago, and whether or not he should be on the team much longer, because that's definitely coming into question as he enters year 4. Jaylen, let's hop into that now. We saw the McCaskey speak strongly on him, which is something we don't really ever see happen. We saw Mike Furry coming into wildcard week saying all his receivers were 100% disciplined. Obviously, that didn't really happen, as we saw a big Javon Wims drop that could have put the Bears back in the game. We saw Miller get ejected. So I want to ask you personally, I mean, we both just said we don't think he's played up to par. He's also someone who throughout this year, especially during the 6-game losing streak, has liked tweets about him going elsewhere. I think it's a little bit clear that we have a little bit of a discipline issue, as well as obviously the inconsistency of his play. We've seen him play really good football sometimes. Other times it's been quite disappointing. So I want to ask you, heading into training camp this summer, obviously it's a ways away, but do you think Anthony Miller will be on this team past 2021?
Past 2020, as in this season or next season?
Do you think he'll play on the team this season? And if so, do you think he'll get extended in Chicago?
Okay, better. That's okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Do I think he plays on the team this year? Definitely. No, let me not say definitely. I think it's a chance. I know McCaskey.
I would probably put it at 50-50 at this point for me.
Yeah,
the Bears are getting like a 4th or 5th round pick for him. I doubt that a team would offer that high for his services, but I'd pull the trigger on it.
I think he's like 26. So I guess he still has a couple more years before he's even 30 years old, and he's obviously showed that he can play. So do I think he's on the team in 2021? I think, like I said, I think it's a chance. We did spend a 2nd round pick on him. He showed more than us than Adam Shaheen did, and Adam Shaheen lasted 3 seasons. He just got traded this offseason, or last offseason. The season coming into this one, he just got traded, and he actually got an extension. So maybe going to a new place or having a new setting, helps him. But I definitely think he's on the team next year. Now after the next season, no, unless he has over 1,000 yards or just shows that he can be a reliable option
consistent,
for
yeah.
Especially if we lose Allen Robinson. This 2018 draft class, we're already going to have to re-sign a bunch of people. 2018, we have to re-sign James Daniels. He's one of our best offensive linemen.
Roquan,
who's our – you can argue he's our best defensive
player in defense, yeah.
And we got in the 5th round. So we won't have to worry about Roquan until, after 2022, but we have to worry about James Daniels this offseason, Bilal Nichols this offseason. So he might be that odd man out in that 2018 draft class that has showed that was probably one of Pay's best draft class so far.
Yeah,
2018 or this year.
Yeah, other than the Miller pick, I think that 2018 draft class was great, especially coming off 2017 when Trubisky and Shaheen and everyone wasn't the greatest draft class. But you know what? I think if we're going off the Adam Shaheen blueprint, which you mentioned, I think there's a chance that Miller could be dealt this offseason. Obviously, on the Bears offense, we realized that throughout this year that it was much bigger of an issue than the offensive line, the wide receivers, the quarterback position. It went all the way to the top. But it seems like throughout how this season played out and how it ended, some people in the front office possibly could be turning on Miller. And I could see him not being here. So I could see the Bears possibly dealing him for a late round pick. I could see
we got like a 6 out of Adam Shaheen, a 6th round or 7.
Yeah.
I was surprised we got that. I thought we were just going to cut him.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
So we'll have to see. I think I could see Miller getting dealt for sure. I could probably even see him being cut in training camp as well. It really depends on what the Bears do this offseason in regards to wide receivers. Do they extend Allen Robinson? Do they franchise tag him? What else do they bring in? What do they expect out of Darnell Mooney? So it's really going to be a play-by-ear situation. But, Jaylen, I think we can both agree that Anthony Miller is definitely on thin ice when it regards his future in Chicago. So that'll pretty much do it for episode number 120 of Uncut. Guys, once again, do us a favor down in the comments. Tell us what you think about Anthony Miller. Will he be in Chicago past 2021? Will he even be in Chicago this next season? It's definitely a good discussion. But if you want more content from us, head over to our website, beareddown.com. Similarly, as we're getting back on the grind here, we're grinding on our website as well, trying to get up an article a day for you guys. So if you have any extra time, there's a ton of people working hard behind the scenes for us. So be sure to go check out our website. The link is in the description. If you would like to find the podcast on social media, we're doing a giveaway next month. Definitely going to be a good one. Trying to do a giveaway every other month this year to give back to you guys. So be sure to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Beared Down. And finally, you can find the links to all of our social media pages down in the description. Jaylen, as well as mine, our Instagram and Twitter pages. It's a great way to see our thoughts on all sports. also a great way to interact with us, and we want your guys' video advice. So be sure to also, if you ever have an idea for a video, reach out to us, tell us what you want to see, and I'm sure we'll definitely get it up because we here want to post more Bears content than anyone on YouTube, anyone on Spotify, anyone on Apple Podcasts, and are going to keep grinding for you guys for sure to be able to get that stuff up. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. It feels good to be back. Jaylen McClinton, any last words before we finish this one off?
No, just good to put some content back up on the YouTube channel. That's about it.
Yeah, and we probably, I'll tell you this, we'll be making our Super Bowl picks later this week. I will say, as a Bears fan, it feels good to have beaten the Buccaneers and to see them playing well. So that should definitely be a good game. Buccaneers, Chiefs. It seems like the Bucs are clicking at the right time, but we're not only going to be making our picks for the game, we're going to be live streaming it as well. So come chill with us during the Super Bowl if you want. Probably going to be doing a giveaway, talking Bears obviously, but talking the entire National Football League as well. So be sure to come join us for that. But it's been a pleasure to be your host, guys. Once again, my name is Chris Malpe. Feels great to be back. Double upload today, trying to get up uploads every day of the week. And that's pretty much it for us, guys. Bears fans, as always, do us a favor and stay safe and bear down. We will see you guys later tonight, probably with a podcast, a little bit longer of an episode with Parth, but that's pretty much it for us, guys. We'll see you later tonight.